It's been a while since I interviewed Dr. Denise Shostek about all things osteoporosis, so I thought it was time to get an update. You won't want to miss this. What new things is she learning about what is causing bone loss in women? And what can we do to reverse osteoporosis naturally? We'll also find out more about how she's working via telemedicine with many of my viewers to reverse their osteoporosis in a focused manner, working directly with the telemedicine patient and Dr. Shostek. She'll tell us the process for contacting her and determining whether you want to work with her. It costs a lot less than you'd think, and at a small fraction of the cost of working with another doctor remotely who did a hit piece video here on YouTube all against me and Dr. Shostek in the fall of 2023. When he last posted on his website his cost to work with him for 1 year, it was over $12,000. Working with Dr. Shostek costs way less. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Click the thumbs up button too so that other people can find this video. And then let us know in the comments what you're thinking about reversing osteoporosis naturally without the bone drugs. If YouTube doesn't show my videos to you often, please subscribe to my newsletter, which I send out about twice a month. In it, I'll have links to videos you might have missed, plus a few other interesting goodies you might be interested in. When you subscribe, I'll also give you my best anti-aging tips in a 3-page tip sheet. The link to subscribe is in the description box below the video and in the first comment. Let's get right to the interview. Hey everyone, I'm back today with Dr. Denise Shostek to talk about osteoporosis and talk about how her telemedicine work has been going with so many of my viewers over the last few years. So welcome back, Denise.
Thank you. It's good to be here, Glory.
Well, I wanted you to talk about today several things like how my viewers are finding you with telemedicine and what kinds of things have been happening, say, in the last 6 months to a year.
The viewers have watched your YouTube and they love you and they have learned a lot from your YouTubes and they're putting it into practice. So people have called me randomly anywhere from New York to California, from Florida the whole way up to Washington. I've met women all over the country and it's been wonderful. I feel like we have a great group of ladies we're working with, but more importantly, Glory, we're beginning to see results.
That's great. So, what kind of time frame is it taking from the time someone starts working with you till the time they maybe get another DEXA scan or an Echolight and they see that their numbers are improving?
People will call me for a 15-minute consult. They want to see, hey, are we a good fit? What kind of insurance do you take, etc. After that, I send them, if they want to come on board, I send them the paperwork to fill out. I can see people within 1 to 2 weeks time frame. We have approximately a 2-hour consult via telemedicine. After that, I create a treatment plan. I send them the treatment plan. They start beginning to do the things that we've talked about. I like to encourage people to get a DEXA scan 6 months after they begin the treatment plan to see, are we on track?
Mhm.
Because if we're not on track, then we need to readjust and figure something else out.
Mhm. Now, in the past, you've told me that for some people, they've pretty much recently had some blood work done. If they haven't, then you have them go get blood work done, often through their primary care physician, so that it's all in their regular medical kind of work. But you can arrange that if need be, because
I
you're looking for the blood work testing certain things. And unless a doctor checks the box to test for certain things, it's not going to get tested for that when it's in the lab.
Yeah. So we do one of two things. People will come to the table with the basics. If I need more than just the basics, if we need to order thyroid or vitamin D, whatever, I can either order it or their PCP can order it or an endocrinologist. So depending on what kind of insurance people have, if they have Blue Cross Blue Shield PPO, I've ordered blood work all over the country. And they just go to Quest, get it done, and then I get the results from Quest and I share it via telemedicine.
That's fantastic. So a lot of times people are confused about, how they would even get started working with you. But let's talk about that in a few minutes. First, I want to talk about some things we were talking about offline, which was many times when women come to you saying my osteoporosis isn't improving, they've already tried to do some things. They've eliminated some behaviors, they've added some behaviors, but that still isn't moving the needle at all. And they come to you, and I call you, you're really good at putting puzzle pieces together and figuring things out. And then telling them, okay, stop doing these things, start doing these things. And then when they do, then they start having good results where their bones start building real bone, right? Not fake bone, but real bone over time. I mean, it's not overnight, but that's how you said, maybe you figure this out in a few weeks and then you tell them, do this, don't do that. And then they do continue, hopefully follow your advice. And then you have another Dex or another Echolight several months later. So what are the kinds of things that you're seeing that you're having to tell people, stop doing these things and start doing these things?
There's some basic things. Some people enjoy squeezing lemon in their water and drinking it all day. It's sort of like drinking soda pop or something acidic. Um, Stress is a real big one, Glory. A lot of our ladies are executive women and busy and stressed out, and then they don't sleep well. Well, if we're stressed and we're not sleeping well, there's a whole chemical cascade that's going on behind the curtain that's affecting your bones. So we talk about some of these things.
Yeah.
Um,
You once sent me a study about cortisol in the body and how it affects bone, and I'm like, I'm cortisol. Just nickname me cortisol, right?
yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's just,
That's a big
sometimes life just delivers you some situations and you can't make them stop. But it's just managing the emotional reaction to the stress so that it doesn't affect your bones and other health
Mhm.
issues.
During times like that, and step back for a minute and think about women. A lot of women that we're talking to are mothers, they could be grandmothers, they're dealing with child issues. Some women have gone through recent divorces, relationship issues,
Mhm.
death of parents, or taking care of parents.
Mhm.
I've seen so many scenarios that have stressed women out, and it takes a toll on the bones.
Mhm. Mhm. I think that's what I was going through when I first, had that first DEXA scan and the doctor's nurse called me, leaving me a voicemail as if I was dying. And yeah, because my mom had dementia and my sibling didn't support me and did things, you know, to harm that. So anybody, if you have a sibling who is supporting or I'm going to say the basic support person, maybe successor trustee, power of attorney, whatever, for a parent with dementia, support that person. Because the person with dementia is confused and they're going to lie about things. They think everybody's stealing from them.
Gloria, you asked about other conditions, things like celiac disease,
Mhm.
having mold in your body. I had one patient who has arsenic and mercury, heavy metals. We couldn't move the dial. And I said, hey, we need to do a urine test. We did. We found arsenic off the chart, mercury high. Come to find out, she was eating sardines almost every other day and salmon on a regular basis. Well, now our fish that is in even wild caught, you hear about wild caught Alaskan caught
Yeah.
salmon. The waters are filled with arsenic and mercury because of the trash that has disintegrated
Mhm.
into the ocean. So
Mhm.
we peeled back on her sardines and salmon. We retested in 60 days and bingo,
It was
all
better.
the numbers were down. Yep, yep.
Wow.
And so then we've been able to move the dial with her
Mhm.
bones once again.
Mhm.
So those are some of the unique things
Yeah.
going on.
And it's
Yeah.
probably one of the things she forgot to tell you up front, what she's eating, what she's drinking.
Yeah.
I think what we eat and what we drink becomes such a habit and we think we're eating a healthy diet, and then we don't realize, wait a minute, maybe I should tell Dr. Shostek like the whole thing of what I ate. It reminds me of an old Dick Van Dyke show where he was writing down everything he ate, and it sounded crazy, but he had some pizza, that had a bunch of stuff on it with anchovies and everything. So, yeah, but we need to tell you all those things because it wasn't until she had the urinalysis that you started asking even deeper questions.
Well, it was when her DEXA scan numbers did not improve.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then I recommended,
That was the urinalysis. Okay. And then you're like, what are you eating from
right.
the urinalysis? What's your regular? Yeah, almost like keep a diary and you start seeing certain things show up a lot. Um,
But
yeah.
for the most part, Glory, I have ladies reaching out to me, sending their greetings to you because their
Oh.
numbers have so improved and people are so excited, as I am too, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm. Because they tried for so long other
mm,
ways.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe dumbfounding their doctor. I still haven't told mine. I still haven't told mine. I reversed it naturally.
I love your giggle.
Yeah. I saw her a few weeks ago because I wanted to see another specialist and they're like, oh, you have to go to your PCP first. I'm like, oh, I haven't done an annual in a while anyway. I'll go. Yeah. But I had lost some weight and she's like comparing. Usually she's pretty good at, doing off the chart, but she's like, this is like 10 pounds lighter than you were last time. You're too, for the chart. I'm like, well, look at me. I'm not skinny. My clothes were kind of tight last time too, but I'm really small shouldered and small boned. So, a few pounds on me
Yeah.
anyway. I sometimes and she's pretty good because she's gluten free and I don't think she eats dairy. So she's usually pretty good about understanding diet things, but yeah, but she, works for a big company and she's the one who wanted me to take the bone drug, but didn't push it. So,
And Glory, this is really common, and a lot of women are facing what you did. They get phone calls from their nurse practitioner, the doctor, pressure, pressure, pressure. So I've said, hey, well, let's just do an experiment. If after 6 months we can't move the dial, you have some choices to make, or if you want to take a year, let's
yeah,
give it a shot. I've
yeah,
I've seen so much success with so many women that you can't lose.
right. And what's the rush,
Mhm. Yeah,
right?
yeah,
I mean, people are more, I tell people you're more likely to die of heart disease,
yeah.
right?
Or dementia.
Stroke, stroke,
Mhm.
um, things that are related to comorbidities than you are to die from falling and breaking a bone.
So, Glory, here's what I'm
It's highly
telling my
likely.
ladies that live in the snow areas and icy areas. As we prepare for the winter months, if you have osteoporosis, not necessarily osteopenia, I do some exercises with them over Zoom, and we work on some balancing things and some strengthening things because I don't want these folks to fall.
And I have lots of strengthening
Yes, you
and
do.
balance exercise videos on my channel. In fact, I'll post some in the
Good.
description box below. Some are strictly for balance, and some are strictly for strengthening, from the core to the knees. Because, I've had foraminal stenosis in my lower spine. I have bad feet. So I'm always, I can only get my feet so far. I can only get my lower spine so far. But if I can strengthen everything else, I've caught myself and stopped myself from falling ever since I've been doing those exercises. And now I have a puppy that likes to trip me and, get in front of my feet. She matches the carpet. I think about that all the time. But yeah, with ice in the winter, just shopping, going outside. It's really important to strengthen all those muscles so that we can catch ourselves and stop ourselves from falling.
Yep, that's good, Glory.
So we had some questions since I posted a community post yesterday saying I'm preparing a video with Dr. Denise tomorrow. Do you have any questions for her? So I do have a few. Um, and of course, you're the doctor. So, you might have to say, well, it depends on this, and this, which is fun. All right. So the first question comes from Joanne, and she asks, will the ketogenic diet reverse degenerative disc disease? My spine is in a backwards shape S.
All right, Joanne. No, I'm sorry to inform you the ketogenic diet will not reverse degenerative disc disease. Degenerative disc disease takes time to develop. Your discs are made from a certain type of collagen. There's 10 types of collagen, so don't run to Costco and pick up the vital nutrients
I
one.
didn't know that. 10 kinds?
10 types. And I think the one in the disc is type 5 or 6. I'd have to look it up, and maybe type 10. So I use something called whole body collagen, and then you need vitamin C as the matrix to hold the collagen together. The other thing is this is something you just manage, and you manage it with traction. And so even though you have what you've described is called dextroscoliosis, it's a backwards S curve curving to the right instead of to the left. Um, I'm going to recommend maintain and manage, because I have it too, my friend, and it's no fun. And I have 3 bulging discs, so I get traction, and traction helps me. And on occasion, I get a gentle adjustment. I don't like manhandler adjustments for women with osteopenia, osteoporosis, or some of these, delicate back conditions. So hopefully that answers Joanne's question.
What does traction look like?
Oh, it's wonderful. So we have two types of tables. We have one where they secure the bone right above the hip, and then they secure the area right above your ribs, and they just pull you gently apart with weights that are at the end of the table. I have
Oh,
another table. I strap people on a table. I press a button, and the table opens up, and it gently pulls apart their lumbar spine. And it gives so much relief. It takes the pressure off the nerves.
wow.
It
And you
works.
have these in the office.
Yeah.
Oh,
There.
wow. So do you have to have somebody do it for you?
Oh, yes. All the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
If somebody come over.
Yeah.
Okay.
And believe it or not, folks, Medicare covers that one.
Oh, really? Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Now, the second question comes from Sarah, and Sarah asks, they found uterine and ovarian cancer during my surgery at 37. I can't take HRT. My 2 DEXA scans since being in surgical menopause show osteopenia, and doctor is very concerned for my age. For those that can't take any hormones and that are in surgical menopause, which is very bad for bone health, what are the best recommendations for improving bone strength?
Okay. First of all, Sarah, I'm sorry to hear about the cancer. You've been through a lot of stuff at age 37. And you're right, it's unusual to have osteopenia at 37, but I can't help but wonder if your body has used your bones as a bank to try to alkalize your body while you've had this cancer. Um, so there's an issue of getting the cancer in remission or cut out. I'm just thinking out loud. So sorry, Gloria, my brain's going 100 miles an hour. Um, Cancer's in remission. We can get the loss of bone in remission. We need to find out what you've been doing, lifestyle, diet, exercise, or lack thereof, that's contributing to the bone loss. Going forward, the answer is not going to be estrogen or hormones that are going to help your bones. I would lean more towards alkalinity versus acidity. And that applies to cancer as well, because cancer loves an acidic environment.
Mhm,
So,
mhm.
someone like that was Sarah, right?
Yes.
Sarah could benefit probably from a telemedicine visit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And just like these other telemedicine patients we've been talking about without naming names, we're just talking in generalities, but there might be things that she's eating, drinking, doing that need to stop or slow down, and other things that
Mm.
she needs to eat, drink, and do
Yeah.
that she can start to
Mhm.
help turn that boat around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I check, when women get female-based cancers, I check for an enzyme called beta-glucuronidase. If beta-glucuronidase is high, then phase two of liver detox is not working properly. And maybe that's something we need to work on. It's called metabolizing your estrogen. Are you breaking down used estrogen and getting it out of the body, or is there a buildup of it causing a female-based cancer? So I test for that. Um, anyway, so that's just another thought.
Yeah, it's interesting. Again, what other doctors are doing this or putting that puzzle piece together?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. So I think that's amazing. And this is why I think,
Mm.
um, yeah, you're like the best kept secret out there. Especially again for the rate, because, oh, yeah, we know what some of the others are charging out there. And before we started recording, you were telling me about other patients coming to about other things, but how they're being told, oh, well, yeah, you can go to Mayo Clinic, but you're going to have to come out with $5,000 up front. Like they're treating it like it's a market-based, non-insurance kind of situation to do functional medicine. And these people just need someone to put the puzzle pieces together without it costing an incredible amount of money. And
Yeah.
and you do that for people. All right, I have one more question. This comes from Phoenix Rising, and she asks, magnesium is so beneficial for osteoporosis, but I can't take it. What's a good substitute?
So there's 7 types of magnesium. I wonder which one it is that she can't take, and I wonder what the reaction is. So magnesium is the central molecule for green foods. Anything with chlorophyll in it, plants, it has magnesium. And so I wonder what her reaction to greens would be.
Yeah.
So she's asking a good question, but there's 7 forms of magnesium.
Mhm.
And which, what does it cause? What does it do? Or is it the binders and fillers from some supplements that she's
Mhm.
responding to and not necessarily the magnesium? Because we
Right.
all need magnesium.
Yeah. So when she eats food, green vegetables, for example, that have magnesium in it, is she fine?
You're right. Or is there a reaction to that too?
Yeah. Yeah. And she might benefit from working with you as well.
Mhm.
Um, just especially if she has osteoporosis or osteopenia, because she doesn't say if she does,
Right.
um, or how old she is.
Mm.
Because, if we don't change some of our behaviors that are causing bone loss and not giving us the natural bone building, then
Mhm.
it's just going to get worse. Going back to working with you,
Mm.
the link I'm going to put in the description box and first comment is to your site where there's a form and they can fill out a form and you'll get that and you will schedule with them a 15-minute call and you'll decide to do work together. And then you mentioned earlier if they decide yes, and you'll send them some forms and there'll be one fee. And we talked about, because in the past videos that we've done together, you mentioned what your fee is, but then time goes on and your fee changes, but people might find that video today. So
Right.
you said, well, let's not say what the fee is. It's it's below 500. Let's just say that right now. It's for sure
Yeah.
below 500. It's below 400 right now.
Yeah.
And we're filming this in August 2025. You don't tell me you take insurance, but you don't take Medicare. Is that right?
Correct. Medicare
Okay.
won't cover this. The 2 insurances that do cover this is Blue Cross Blue Shield PPO or Aetna PPO. Aetna, not so much as Blue Cross Blue Shield PPO, but
Yeah.
I use a copay for
Mhm.
what is not covered in that
Mhm.
office visit.
Yeah. But even if they're going to pay out of pocket, it's not that much money
Oh.
compared to what
And
other people are being charged out of
well,
pocket.
I'll mention this to you. I have a couple ladies who call me and we do some follow-up, just naturopathic medicine for other issues. And at this stage, I have a couple people, every office visit's covered. I literally write off their copay. It's like I don't need to collect their $20, $30. I just put write it off, send it to the biller. It's covered. Call it a day. and I move on. So there's lots of people that see me now on a regular basis, and I met them actually through you and through, your website.
Hmm.
And these
And
are
then
people,
what do you mean by a regular basis? How often is that?
so once every 2 months,
Okay.
or, somebody might have a UTI, or somebody
Hmm.
came down with COVID, or,
Hmm.
they might call about, I fell and this happened, that happened. Um, I have an x-ray, want to show it to you. Just various things.
Right.
s- all kinds of goodies. Some people just call me about maybe their lipid panel. How do I get my LDLs down?
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
mm,
Not just osteoporosis. So, thinking about that initial fee, besides having the initial Zoom call, then once you're doing the telemedicine with them, you're doing a lot of work behind the scenes,
oh yeah,
going over their blood work, going over all the intake and all the
ordering.
information and all their symptoms and yeah, and perhaps writing up something else with your recommendations. And then perhaps 6 months later, they might choose to have another call with you, which is cheaper. They're not paying that higher fee
Right.
again, which is still not high.
No.
They're paying a lower fee to have a shorter call with you, follow up. Um, and that's how some of these people are becoming regular patients.
Right. Right. Once you establish a file, I have a baseline. I have good records. I can quickly open it up and I can see where you were and then the progress you've made. So that's the fun part, is getting to see people's progress.
Right. That's
Yeah.
amazing. All right. Well, I just really appreciate you taking the time to fill us in on, again, how people can work with you, how the whole process works, because it's not that complicated, but I just want to set an expectation level. Because in the beginning, when we started talking about this in our earlier videos, we weren't being clear about that initial 15-minute consultation. They started telling you a whole story about osteoporosis, and you're like, that's not what this is for. This is just to see, do we even want to work together? So that initial 15-minute phone call you don't charge for. That's just to touch base with you in person and say, do we even want to work together? And then beyond that, a lot of people have. And some of them work with you and then they don't need to work with you again. Like you said, some of them come back every 2 or 3 months about some other issues, but some resolve the osteoporosis. Now they know what to do and they know what not to do in order to build good bone and to stop doing things that cause bone loss. And then they're no longer an active patient with you.
Right. Glory, if you would permit me to say this, I just want to thank you for doing all of these YouTubes. It's not in me to do them, but you have reached so many women, and the ladies I talk to are so grateful to you. So I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart and for introducing me to your wonderful audience. So it's been great to be part of this journey that you started, and you've helped so many people. So thank you.
Well, I'm glad that you were in my life because you were the one I initially talked to, and you said, well, let's attack this thing naturally. And I had really no other physician to talk to about it. So I was so glad that you wanted to come on camera and that you found a way to do telemedicine. Of course, COVID helped with that because so many people wanted that. So many doctors were turning to telemedicine, and that helped you figure out the best way to do that for both you and for the patient. And yeah, I really appreciate you and you helping me with so many quirky little medical things that I've had. I'm laughing because I'm thinking about the stuff from the past. Even from my foraminal stenosis, you were one of them to really help me get my head around getting out of pain. And it took me 6 months, but you were a big part of that. So thank you so much.
And Glory,
Yeah.
you probably would want to do this as well. I just want to give a big shout out to so many of the ladies out there who have trusted both you and me with their health, and they have seen significant improvements. And so it's them that keeps us going and makes
Mhm.
this so exciting.
That's right. That's right. Because people are not going to stop having osteoporosis.
Yeah.
Each new young set of people are going to have the same problems, and they're looking for more natural ways to resolve it and to stop taking so many drugs, which is just fantastic. I mean, we keep hearing more and more. Every time they come up with a new drug, later on we start hearing about the terrible symptoms. What are they called when you have bad experience with the drug?
Oh, adverse
Yeah,
reaction?
there you go. Adverse reaction. Oh my gosh. Nobody wants that, you
No.
know? So anything that we can do in life to not have to take meds is fantastic. And I know you and I hardly take any, and we're Medicare age now, and we're both on a drug because you have to get a drug plan. And we're on one that has zero premium because we don't take anything.
Mhm.
So, but I've talked to people and they're like, "Oh, I'm thinking about not doing a drug plan." No, you had to do a drug plan. Like you told me, because you're a little slightly older than I am. You said if you're getting a car accident and you're in the hospital, you're going to need your drug plan. You're in a ton of pain or you need brain surgery or something. I mean, you're going to need a drug plan. So get your drug plan. Um, but we're on one that has zero premium, right?
Right.
Because we're healthy 65, 66 year olds. And we want everybody to be that way. We want you all to be healthy and slender and feeling good and being active, having a clear brain, having a body that works.
Yep.
And whether it's bones or your blood pressure or your cholesterol or your heart, we don't want you having type 2 diabetes. We don't want you getting cancer. I wish that everybody didn't have all the stress. Me too, right? But we do what we can in our lives. Sorry, I keep kicking my chair. That's what that sound is. All right. So thank you so much. If you have any questions, feel free to write them in the comments, and we will see you next time.
All right. Bye-bye.
Sign up for my newsletter and get my best anti-aging tip sheet through the link in the description box and my first comment, or go to my website, GloryB-TV.com, and tap the Get the Tips button. On the next page, type your email address, click the pink Get My Tips button, and you'll get the tips. Remember to check the description box and first comment for links to check out Dr. Shostek's website, where you contact her to find out more about working with her via telemedicine. Anything else we discussed is listed and linked in the description box and first comment as well. Let us know what you're thinking in the comments. Then check out one of the other videos about reversing osteoporosis naturally by tapping its image on the right side of your screen. And I'll see you in the next video.